I would like to welcome John Sweeting, who will be presenting ARIN General Update. John is the Chief Customer Officer at ARIN and has traveled to us today from Virginia to speak. Welcome, John.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone had a great lunch. I'm going to provide some updates on ARIN, what we have done, what we're going to be doing. Mostly, I'm going to talk about what we're going to do going forward and how that affects you and assists you in running your networks and managing your number of resources. Okay, so for 2024, the priorities we have at ARIN we broke them out this way to make it really easy for the community to understand what we're doing. So we're going to educate the community about the multi-stakeholder approach to internet governance, highlighting significance and objectives of the RIR registries. We do that several ways. Outreach is one of the main ways. Our CEO, John Curran, goes on the road a lot and talks to a lot of different audiences, as well as I do as well. So the next thing we're going to be concentrating on, and our board has asked us to do this, is to continue champion the adoption of IPv6. We go to a lot of outreach shows and talk to a lot of people about IPv6, how to figure out how to get the resources, what the size of the resources they need, and how to overcome the obstacles from mainly they like to know the obstacles, how to get over the obstacles from the C-level suites that they work for. So we try to help them with that. We have a lot of case studies on our website to help with that. We're also advancing the routing security services. RPKI and IRR, we have an authenticated IRR today, and RPKI is like the big thing going now on routing security. I'll have more on that, and Brad Gorman will also be presenting tomorrow at 2 o'clock for an hour on RPKI and where we're going. We're going to conduct 2 public policy meetings, our next one being in Barbados in April, and then in Toronto in the fall. We also have a election cycle this year, every year, but we'll have that. I'm going to talk about that later on. And engage with the community, participating in industry events. We do a lot of outreach. I think last year we participated in probably 45 plus outreach events, talking about RPKI, IPv6, network autonomy, and that's not counting the ones that John Curran, our CEO, goes to. And then to create and enhanced e-learning modules to provide educational resources to the community. We're building out our own learning management system, and that's going to help a lot with how we manage all the training modules and webinars that we currently have on our website, but might not be the easiest to find and use. RPKI service development priorities. Like I said, Brad's going to talk about this, so I'm going to hit it real quick. We're getting ready to redo the IRR RPKI integration. We had released that, but we had some concerns from the community. They were voiced. We did a consultation. We heard them. We've readjusted, and now everything to do with that is going to be on an opt-in basis. And that's basically what the community told us. Like, you can't just do this. You got to give us the opportunity to opt into creating IRR objects when we create our ROAs. We got an RPKI ROA intelligence coming up. It's an ACSP, so it's a suggestion on the improvement to ROA functionality. We're running a consultation on that right now, and basically what that is when you log in and you want to create a ROA, we're going to be able to present to you how that would affect your active routes that are out there on the internet today. And then some RPKI advanced features to ARIN Online Interface. Real quick, you can download the full list of ROAs to a file for offline processing, so that helps if you have a lot of ROAs. and enable the row of changes via file upload, so you can download them, manipulate them, upload them, and then allow organizations to self-withdraw from RPKI services. All right, so what have we been working on? Those are the priorities for the upcoming year. What have we been working on? All right, ARIN membership updates. This is very important. It's something we've been working on for about 4 years now to get to this point to where all of our customers have all access to all the same services and the options of whether they want to, how deep they want to participate with ARIN. So if you're a service member, of which we have 23,000 plus, that means you're a service member, you have internet number resources from ARIN, be it IP addresses or AS numbers, then you are a service member, and they're under agreement. Once you're a service member, if you want to participate more fully in the governance of ARIN and vote in our elections, then you can push a button and request general membership. And once you get general membership, then you're able to participate in the ARIN elections and the governance of ARIN. So that gives us the total members of 25,000 plus. And remember, we also have 14,000 plus customers that are not under an agreement that we still manage their accounts and help them with managing their resources. So the very important point there is everybody's a service member, no matter what internet number resource you hold, and anyone that's a service member that decides they would really like to participate more in the governance of ARIN, they're able to do that by pushing a button and requesting it. This all was kind of allowed to happen based on our ASN, not on the ASN fee harmonization, but fee harmonization as a whole. We've also been doing this fee harmonization project over the last 3 or 4 years. We did it first with the IPv4 and IPv6, and now we're extending that out to the ASNs. So basically, what the ASN fee harmonization does, it's transitioned all the ASNs to the registration services plan, so the RSP fee schedule. So there's now 3 different tiers of the plan, 3 different columns. Got IPv4, aggregate total number of IPv4 addresses, IPv6, so the total aggregate of IPv6, and then AS numbers. And we kept it simple. We did the AS numbers the same way we've done the addresses. If you get 4 times the amount of AS numbers, then your fees double. So it fit really nice into the 3x small, 2x small categories that we had. So if you have 0 to 3 ASNs, you're 3x small, 4 to 15, 2x small, and so on. We also removed the $550 ASN issuance fee. So if you already have address space and you come and get an AS number from ARIN, you don't pay anything. It just goes into your account and gets managed with the rest of your resources. If you have a lot of AS numbers, getting one might change what you pay, but we don't have very many people that are going to pay by the amount of AS numbers they have versus IP address space. And it also, a big thing, it converted ASN only holders to service members, making them eligible for general membership. So that's an additional 7,000 organizations that held only AS numbers from ARIN that have now become eligible to vote in the elections should they choose to. Big point there. One thing our CEO really pushed us to get this harmonization done and get this in place. Another big one this year, expiration of the legacy fee cap. I'm not sure how many people are aware of it, but there was a incentive for legacy holders to come under agreement with ARIN, and that incentive was a fee cap. So even though they might be in a large category for fees, there was a cap. They could only pay started, I believe, $125. It goes up $25 a year. This year, it'll be $200. If their fees are only $250, they get to $250, it stops going up. They just level out at $250. But that option is gone. If you didn't get a ticket in by the 31st of December 2023, then that is no longer an option for legacy resources. A recap of the registration agreement legacy holder agreements that we've done this year. As you can see, at the end of 2022, we only had 833 organizations that had signed a legacy resource agreement, and that was 833 from 2007, I believe, when we started offering the LRSA. At the end of 2023, we have 1355, so we have another 500 organizations pending. That means they got their tickets in 2023, but it's taken a while, as you can imagine, for us to sort through and process all of them. So in the end, in 1 year, we've more than doubled the amount of legacy resources that have come under an agreement with ARIN. Going forward, anyone with legacy resources not under an agreement will have to sign a normal registration service agreement, and there will be no fee cap available. Went the wrong way. Okay, 2023 consultations overview. So the consultation overview, it just, whenever we're going to update a service or develop a new service or whatever for the community, we will run a consultation with the community to find out exactly how they would like us to do that. Not guaranteed we'll do everything that we get asked, but we will weigh everything that is offered to us as advice and requests, and we'll come out with a good product, hopefully, that satisfies the community. We have one active consultation right now, and that's on the RPKI BGP intelligence, and we completed 5 consultations in 2023, and you can see them there. We do have the retiring the email templates. That's going to happen later this year. Functionality automatic creation of IR rod objects, that's happening now. ASN fee harmonization, that happened and got completed and is now completed. Offering ARIN content in multiple languages. We did a consultation on that, and we're holding off on that because of the return on the investment didn't quite pan out. And then expanding 2FA options to ARIN Online, which is in the pipeline for development, but is not quite scheduled right now. For suggestions, same process. A lot of times the suggestions turn into a consultation. If we get a suggestion from one organization that says, hey, could ARIN provide this service? We'll look at it and say, hey, that's probably a pretty good idea. Let's see what the community thinks about it, and we'll do a consultation on that. Email template retirement. So as I said earlier, one of our consultations last year was on the email template retirement. In June this year, 2024, ARIN will retire our email template processor. So, if applicable, there's several options available to replace that if you want to continue to use templates. If you have, I know there's some organizations, some ISPs out there that they have their own internal process that would spit the template out and send it to ARIN. You can use Reg RWS. We're also doing an open source template processor that's out there online that you can use, and it'll forward that results to ARIN for the information to be updated. And you can also do it through your ARIN Online account, of course. ARIN Program and Services. Here's a quick slide on RPK adoption, org participation. I'm not going to spend time here because, like I said, Brad's going to cover a lot of this tomorrow. Additional RPK adoption statistics. This is just a breakdown of per entity type. You can see government. We broke it down: government, educational institutions, and commercial ISPs. Again, Brad's going to go a lot deeper into that tomorrow. ARIN does have a community grant program. You've got to fit into 4 categories with your project that you're looking for funding for. These are the 4 categories. And it's really supporting operational research projects that improve the overall industry and internet user environment. We have a fellowship program. It's closed now for our next meeting, ARIN 53 in Barbados. We do have 10 fellows that were selected that will participate in person. We have another 6 that will participate in the full program, but virtually. And the next application cycle will open up July of 2024, and that's for Toronto. We have an ARIN qualified facilitator program. We have 9 qualified facilitators in that. Basically, this was to replace the STLS, specified transfer listing service that we had, where people could pay $1,000 and be listed as a facilitator on the ARIN website. However, we had a lot of problems with that. The community asked us to give them a list that was more robust and could be trusted more. So we did that, and that's what this does. We do a very deep dive on the background and credentials of the 9 facilitators we have today, and if anyone else wishes to apply, they're welcome to apply. They sign a code of conduct with us, non-disclosure. They have to have at least, I think, $1 million in insurance. They promise to take any customer complaints and resolve them. And yeah, it's a good program. If you are really looking to either use a facilitator for buying or selling internet number resources, it's a good list to start with, because you can be sure that we have vetted them and that they are they are well qualified to provide those services to you. They've all the ones we have today have done several transfers with ARIN. They know the policies, they know how to get it done. This is a list of our current ARIN qualified facilitators. We still have our Premier Support Plan going. The big thing there is people within the Premier Support Plan. Every quarter, we have a roundtable with our CEO and myself, and we listen to everything that they have to say, and we give them insight into the things that are going on at ARIN. There is the 24/7 on-call support, priority ticketing processing, and dedicated analyst. And then the IPv4 waitlist, I'm just going to say real quick that what everybody already knows, IPv4 resources are very scarce, and the returned or revoked resources are the primary source today. However, if you have the luxury of being able to get on the wait list and wait, it's probably not a bad idea to do it, because sometime there could be a big batch of IPs come available, and we fill a lot of requests, and you'll say, wow, I wish I had gotten on that list a year ago, and then I would have got my IPs. And that's all I'll say on that. And coming up 2024, the elections, we have the elections in the timeline. And then coming to us, that's our next meetings. We do have a couple ARIN on the roads this year, Reno, Kansas City, and Toronto in October for our meeting. And the outreach, Q1 and Q2, this is what we've done, and thank you. And Mike, I saw you coming.
All good.
There's a lot of things going on at ARIN, as you can tell. So we do have a question. Yes.
Mike?
So it looks like 522 legacy works signed new agreements, royalty changes to effect. I'd like to point out that 301 of those were due to the phenomenal efforts of my colleagues in research and education. And I'd like to know how many legacy holders are still without agreement.
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
Larry? Yep.
How many legacy holders are still without agreement?
Well, you saw 14,000 organizations. We still have 14,000 legacy organizations that are not under an agreement. And I see John stepping up.
Yep. John Curran, President and CEO, ARIN. I'd like to also thank Internet 2 for their efforts, and Steve Wallace in particular. I don't know if Steve's around here somewhere, but they really realized the change was coming up, worked with us, did a lot of outreach, did a lot of work so that the Internet 2 organizations, a lot of them, universities and colleges who have had address space since late 80s, early 90s, knew this change was coming, and it made a big difference. At this point, we still do have thousands of organizations that are legacy organizations that if they want to get ARIN services, they have to now enter a standard RSA and pay the same as everyone else. We've offered the discount fee cap for more than 15 years, so if they were coming, they were coming, and if they haven't, they haven't. They pay the same fees as the rest of you. And this is part of getting ARIN so that everyone gets the same services, equitable services for the same fees. We decided that this is time to phase this out. I will say in terms of legacy resources under agreement, in terms of total resources under an RSA or LRSA right now, about 69% of the legacy, 69% of the resources in the ARIN database are under agreement. That, obviously, the day ARIN was formed, 100% of the resources were not under agreement, and we started issuing new blocks. At this point, 69% of them are under agreement. There's about 30% that are resources allocated to organizations that haven't come under an RSA agreement. I'll tell people to use a little caution in terms of percentages and how to deal with that. Many of those resources are organizations that may be defunct and or may not know that the address block they got in the 90s, there may be no successor org. I will say the broker community is doing a great job hunting down a lot of those. But we will have thousands of allocations for some number of years that don't have a valid or don't have a current organization associated with them. And that's just the nature of how the registry was run for its first decade or so. So a little context, thank you.
Yeah, a little point of interest maybe, of those 14,000 organizations, about 9,800 of them are a single/24, single Class C. Yes.
An online question. Matt Petich is wondering whether ARIN is willing to share the learning management system you are developing with NANOC once it's done.
Sure, no problem at all. We will do that.
Thank you.
All right.
Excellent. Can get a round of applause for John here? Excellent.